Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny has opened. We have the numbers. I mean, I think these are still estimates, but we basically have the numbers. We can see how it did. It didn't do great. It was definitely a soft opening. I don't think it was the disaster some people are saying it is. Some of the hysterical, usual suspects are acting like it's the worst box office in the history of the world and the biggest failure in the history of the world because that's what their base wants to hear. But yeah, it's definitely soft. I think they're estimating 65 to 75 was what they were hoping, and I think 60 was the bottom. And that's what they got. They got 60 million for the opening weekend, and 70 million international. So of course that makes it 130 million for the whole opening weekend. And it's done okay. It's supposedly going to take another 10 million today. And I think it did 7 million on the Thursday, which was rolled into the Friday, I think. Yeah, so I think Monday it's supposed to be doing 12 million, and Tuesday is supposed to be doing 10 million. So if you look at the estimates, it's already made 82 million. But yeah, it's still estimates, but yeah, it's low. Now, when you look at all the other box office openings for recent films and certain notable films that people are commenting on, things like Solo, it made less money than Solo in the opening. It made less money than The Little Mermaid, which made 95 million. But it made more than, say, Shazam, the sequel to Shazam. It made more than Elemental. So it's made more than some of the bigger flops, but it's made less than some other notable flops. So exactly where it's going to flop is uncertain, but it's probably going to flop somewhere on the lower side. I think it had to be $1 billion film. They're saying they spent, the estimates are all over the place, 200 to 300 plus million. I think one person said 229 million specifically, or 300. And, when you add in all the advertising, but they're saying they pulled back on the advertising last minute to sort of try and save money because they could see where it was going. But a lot of this is speculation. Some of it is based on, actual spending numbers and so forth people get. But basically, it needed to make a lot of money. And a lot of people don't understand this because they're like, hey, it cost 300 million, it made 500 million, it made 200. No, because the studio's only got like a half or two-thirds, a third of that maybe. So no, if it cost 300 million and they got 600 million, they didn't get their money back because they would have got less than half of that money. So yeah, it needs to make $1 billion, or 800 million, something like that. To make money, it would have to make, I don't know, it's really hard to work this stuff out. Because a lot of people say, well, the marketing was all paid for through their own company, so they get that money back, so it's actually not a loss. And I'm like, really? So yeah. But yeah, so it did 24 on the Friday, including the 7 from the Thursday it was rolled in, which used to be from midnight screenings, but now they just start opening stuff on Thursday. So Thursday night you can go see a movie, and that gets rolled into the Friday weekend box office. Made 19 million on the Saturday, 17 million on the Sunday. It's going to make 12 million today and 10 million tomorrow. So it's looking at 82 at the moment. So it's 152 worldwide for its basically first weekend and a couple of days. So it's not great. I don't think it's going to make money. It may make a tiny little bit of money, and then with sales and DVD sales and streaming and stuff like that, maybe it's not going to do well. The last Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, that made over 100 million in its opening weekend. That did well, but that wasn't a well-received film. It basically was making money on the reputation of the other films. People went to see it because it was the next indie film. And a lot of people aren't seeing this because of Crystal Skull and all the negative things that they've heard. Some of the comments from Phoebe Waller-Bridge are kind of astounding, like, well, we knew the fans wouldn't like this, wouldn't want this, but we did it anyway because that's what we wanted to do. That's not what people want to hear. So yeah, so it's open very soft. I don't think it's a total bomb yet, but I don't see it having legs. I can see it having a pretty big drop in the second week and disappearing before it really earns any money. So it's very disappointing because it could have been great. They could have kept all the characters alive, had them back, had cameos. You could have had Indiana Jones just kicking A and having his female sidekick kicking A, and then him just handing over the fedora to her and saying, good luck, kid. But no, they had to make him miserable and depressed and broken, and no one wants to see that, and no one wants to see their heroes reduced to prop up a new character. So it's just a mess. But will it be a total box office mess? It looks like it will. But it's 4 days in. It's hard to tell, but just had to comment on that because a lot of people are acting like it's the worst box office ever, and I'm like, no. When you look at the other openings, there's a whole bunch of films that open for less. There are other films that open for more that did bad or did better. It's not an exact science, and people need to stop pretending like it is, and they know where the box office is going to go. We got a lot of surprises. The Flash was a huge surprise. It made more than Flash. Who knows? I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the whole thing. Bye.